When you move into a new home, you usually inherit the previous owner's decor style and taste, which sometimes doesn't match your own. So today, I'm going to show you how to make over this home study and give it an industrial urban look and feel. But first things first, we need to remove the old wallpaper and prep the walls.
When taking on a room renovation, start by clearing the room and prepare the space for magic. Start by removing the old wallpaper by wetting it with a sponge or a rag and loosening it with the help of a paint scraper. It comes off surprisingly easy. Also, take this opportunity to remove old nails from the wall and closing the holes with a paintable filler.
With the walls prepped and the old wallpaper removed, now we can get to painting the room. So, the first step is we need to get masking. Guys, when it comes to painting a room, masking off with painter's tape is such a necessity. It does take a lot of time, but it's needed because at the end of your paint job, it will look clean and crisp. And don't forget the drop sheets to protect your floors.
Once the filler has dried, sand it down to a smooth finish before painting over it. To achieve a professional finish, start by painting the edges and the corners of the room. This is known as cutting and should be done before painting the rest of the wall with a roller.
Have I got a cool decorative DIY project that's going to suit our urban industrial study? Basically, what I'm going to make is a picture hanging rail. This, you can put different pictures in of your interests, hobbies, family and friends, it's up to you. So what you'll need for this project is pictures of your choice, a power drill, a jigsaw, a pine wood bar, a metal rod, wood drill bits and a driver bit, wood screws, wall hooks and plugs, open eye hooks, galvanized sockets, A4 masonite boards, a paintbrush, wood stain, spray paint, and measuring tape and a pencil. The first step is to grab your masonite A4 size of board. I'm going to make 3 of them to house pictures. Grab your pine bar and you can decide how long you want the pine bar, but I think what's nice is if it overlaps the sides, and I think 80 millimeters is a perfect length. Mark it out and then cut it with the jigsaw. The wood pine bars are cut to size and I have 6 of them here. So what I'm going to do is before I varnish, I'm going to just give them a light sanding with the sandpaper, and then I'm using a tinted varnish for interiors in mahogany. So while our varnish is busy drying, I've taken outside our pieces of board, our fittings and our metal pole. And what I want to do is spray paint them and give them this hammered metal look because I think it's just going to make them pop and look that beautiful for our industrial looking study. So when you spray paint, guys, remember to be in a well-ventilated area and hold the can at least 15 to 30 centimeters away from what you're spray painting and use light horizontal or vertical strokes and let one coat dry before you go on to your second coat. Our spray painted items are now dry and so is our varnished wood. So now it's time to put together our industrial picture frames. I've cut my pictures to size. I actually want a bit of the wood and the metallic and the picture showing all together at once. So I'm not going to cover everything with the picture, that's why it's cut to size this way. So I'm lining it up, making sure that it's straight, and then what I'm going to do is drill 2 holes over there with one size drill bit and drive these hooks in because that's going to enable the picture frame to hang on our metal rod on the wall. And then to secure the picture frame and the picture in place, I'm just going to drive in these wood screws very, very carefully, just so it bites enough at the back to bring the masonite and the wood piece together. Now we can focus on our feature wall, which is going to be wallpapered in this face brick pattern over here. So guys, what you have to remember is preparation is key. Make sure that your surface is clean and sound and there are no lumps and bumps or flaking paint. Otherwise, the wallpaper will have difficulty sticking to the wall. Remember guys, your first strip of wallpaper application is the most important in wallpapering a wall because it needs to be straight and perfectly done because that determines how the rest of the wall will look. The first step is to mix your wallpaper glue with the recommended amount of water. I have read the instructions on the back and make sure I had everything measured out perfectly for our application on our feature wall. So, When you're mixing, it's a good idea to keep the water moving in a circular motion and add the glue bit by bit at a time, because like a good white sauce in the kitchen, you don't want to risk lumps and bumps. You want to make an even, smooth mix. Okay, so there are no lumps and bumps and it looks like it's a great consistency. The next step is to let it set for about 3 to 5 minutes as it gains thickness. Now you don't want your glue too thin as you risk tearing the wallpaper. There are two methods when applying wallpaper to a wall. The first one is you apply your glue to the strip of wallpaper and then stick it to the wall. The second is you apply the glue to the wall and then stick on the paper. Now we're opting for the second option because we just don't have enough room in the study. Remember guys, to measure your wall from the ceiling to the floor. That is about 2.7 meters, so I'm going to cut my wallpaper strip at 2.8 to give a little bit extra that I can cut off later. Another thing is measure the width of your wallpaper, because when I apply the glue, I want to apply a little bit more extra. An extra goes a long way. And then I've covered all my bases to make sure that it sticks really, really well. Okay, so what I've just done is tried to get the air bubbles out from underneath the wallpaper, because in some parts I didn't apply as much glue as what I should have. So I used my hand at first to feel where the bubbles are, then I go in with my wallpaper smoothing tool and I just squeegee the glue out, and especially always move it up to those areas of air bubbles and out to the end here on this side. Then I'm ready to apply my second piece of wallpaper right next to the first one. And you line it up because there's a pattern here, so you can line it up and then you'll start to see where the pattern flows in with the next piece. Then you cut a bit of the top, and I do the same to the bottom of the floor. How stunning does this look? I absolutely love it. Face brick is a personal favorite of mine, and it just makes the room feel completely different. When you walk in, you can't help but notice this feature wall. So I'm gonna get the furniture back in and put up our DIY picture frame rail. I really love this home DIY project. I mean, just look at this wall popping out and giving this room so much character. We really added so much personal style and taste. I must say, it is the perfect urban home office.